by the end of the period there is nothing left on the table and the table area is perfectly clean. Use the scraper and dustpans located on the walls in the back of the room to scrape any excess clay off of the table and discard into the trash can. Make sure to hang the dustpan and scraper back up on the wall where you found it. The tool bins are one of the most important jobs in the ceramic studio. Your job is to remove all the tools from the bin, clean out the bin and any excess water, and ultimately clean all the tools to make sure they're ready for use for future periods. The sponges and the scrubbers can be great helps in removing any excess clay that's difficult to get off. By filling a bowl with some soapy water and returning to your table to clean the tools, it'll be a little bit easier because you'll avoid the crowds. Make sure to get any excess clay, big chunks, and any dust off the tools. Also make sure the tools aren't sitting in a pile of water, otherwise they'll rust. Spill out your soapy water, hang up your rag, and return the bowl to the table. The clay cart is an incredibly important job to make sure the clay that we're using doesn't dry out. You want to add water to each bag using the spray bottle, twist and turn the bags over to keep them from drying out and clearing up the cart from any excess particles of clay that could get in and dry out the clay bags quicker. Use the scrapers from around the room to help get any extra dust or small particles off of the clay cart and discard into the trash can so they don't get into the bags. Our sinks require lots of help to keep nice and clean for the day. Using the sponge and table scrapers helps to get any excess water or clay into the sink. Each sink has a drain basket that will help catch any small particles of clay or any small things that shouldn't go down the drain. You can easily put any of these chunks into the drain basket, pull the drain basket up, and simply discard it into the trash can before returning the basket back to its home. Make sure to return the sponges and scrubbers where they go. Although everyone should help bring their spray bottles back to the back of the room, the spray bottles person goes and collects any extra bottles that have been left behind and takes them to the back station to wash any excess clay or dust off the bottles. Another important role is to make sure the bottles are filled with water so future students have plenty of water to work with for their projects. After you finish filling each bottle with water, you want to line them up nicely and neatly next to the left of sink 1 so that students know where to find them. Each student who uses a sponge should return the sponges to the sponge bucket in the back of the room to the left of sink 1. The sponge person goes and collects any sponges that have been left behind, washes, squeezes out the extra water, and returns them to the sponge bucket by the spray bottles. Each student at the end of each period should push in their stools to make sure everybody can move about the room. Period 5, however, make sure to put their stools on top of the tables at the end of each class. The stools and bins person just double checks they're all up and overturns the bins. The clock watcher might sound like a silly position, but it's super important that we know when there's about 10 minutes left to make sure we all stay on track. The goal is that your assigned slip containers remain full, clean, and the consistency is just right. Check to see if your slip container needs refilling and go to the slip refill bucket by sink 4 to accomplish this task. Each table should make sure that any bowls that have been used are collected, spilled out, and returned to the table in a pile for next period's use. If there happens to be a bowl cleaner, this person can help with this task. Make sure to let me know if we run out of paper towels so I could refill them. But make sure to use rags and towels as often as possible. Remember, many hands make light work, and if we all work together, we'll keep the studio clean and everyone will have nice things to work with.